nohints.com.
Welcome to No Hints. My name is Aris.
And my name is Nosres.
This is our top 5v5 versus series.
In which we'll be discussing what games will make our top 5 for different categories.
And whichever ones we match, they'll be deemed superior.
And it will make our top 3. Let's get the list started.
Number 5 on the list for me is BioShock Infinite. The game had superior gunplay, an amazing atmosphere, and a great plot twist. Also, the introduction of the powers in the game and the city in the sky makes this an all-around great game.
Number 5 on my list would have to be a classic game from the Nintendo 64. It is 007 GoldenEye. It was just a really fun game. The story was fun. I love the cheat codes that you could put into it to make yourself invincible. It was just a really unique game to play, especially as a kid.
Number 4 on my list is Borderlands 2. The reason that game made my list, you take Diablo, which is a loot style game, and add guns and a lot of gun variety, and you have yourself a great game that you can play with up to 4 players in co-op.
Number 4 would have to be Battlefield Hardline for me. The reason for that being is as a kid, I always loved playing cops and robbers with my friends in the neighborhood, and this game just took that from a childhood and turned it into your reality. You had large-scale match with up to 64 players where one person was trying to steal the goods, the other people are there to protect it. It's just a very unique game, and it got me into the Battlefield series.
Number 3 for me is Battlefield 1. Before this, there was no prominent World War I shooter. In this one, when you play just the story mode itself, it really grips you into the actual world and feel of World War I. And the multiplayer is top-notch, making all the guns authentic, each class being supportive to each other, and an all-around great game online with up to 64 other players.
Number 3 for me would have to be Borderlands 2. As my co-host Aries discussed earlier, it's a unique game. It took the loot style of most computer games, brought it to your couch where you had multiple people, up to 4 of your friends just sitting there playing late night all summer long, however you wanted to do it, trying your best to get to the vault and getting the best guns possible.
Number 2 for me is actually Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the initial one. The reason this one is on my list, it might not be the best Call of Duty per se, but it did revolutionize the series, adding the perfect ranking system, the class creation, and all the challenges that came along, and all first-person shooters now follow.
Number 2 for me would have to be Far Cry 4. The reason for that is it was the first Far Cry I've ever played, and I just love the mountains of Hideout, whether you were riding an elephant to destroy an enemy's base or shooting somebody from the hidden of a bush with your bow. It was just a fun all-around game to play.
My number 1 game is Halo 3. Now, this one holds a bias for me just because it's the first person shooter I've played online ever, and it has great teabag physics.
And last but not least is a game for me that touches deep into my heart. It's COD Modern Warfare 1. The reason why is not only, as Aries said, that did it revolutionize a series of guns. It's something that I played with my dad all summer long. We ranked up to Prestige 10. It was a very sentimental game for me, and I still play the remastered version 2 today. Another reason why I think it touched a lot of people is it went from being World War I, Vietnam with Call of Duty, all the way to modern guns and almost like the war in Iraq, and it was something that was very dear to everybody's heart when the game came out. And now we're at the part in our video where we are going to discuss the matches that we had on each one of our lists. We're not always going to have matches. Sometimes we'll have more, sometimes we'll have less. So let's get into discussion, Aries. We definitely both had Borderlands 2. What did you like most about the game?
Again, all the guns and the customization that this game had was crazy. Comparing it to Borderlands 1, where, you had a lot of gun types, I would say. They didn't have a lot of variety in the way they looked. Borderlands 2 had also superior classes, I feel, in the way that they balanced them and made them all feel worth having in your party.
I would have to agree with that. It was definitely a game, as I discussed with Borderlands 1 and Borderlands 2. They're definitely both games where it brings in co-op gameplay up to 4 people, and it really enhances your experience by increasing the loot that you get when you do have the 4 people. And with that being said, my favorite class would have to be Gage the Mechnomancer. I thought it was a unique addition where it brought into a pet where you could have your whole class built around this mechanized robot that did damage to things and would tank for you and could do multiple things.
That's pretty much the same way that I would go, but with the Commando. The Commando had the turrets that had shields and also had healing capabilities. So it made the best. It was one of the best support classes you could possibly have in your party. Having multiple Commandos on your team was actually one of the most superior end game classes, especially for high level bosses.
I would definitely agree. The only thing I didn't really care for with the game was I felt like once you reached a certain point, there wasn't much left to do, unfortunately. Like, yeah, you could continue to look for guns, but it became boring when they weren't putting out DLCs to continue, where the first one I felt like it had the armory, it had the arena, it had multiple things, where I feel like Borderlands 2 lacked in DLCs because they were too focused on the customizations.
Borderlands 1 was actually the first one that I did get a Platinum Trophy for, but it does not have Handsome Jack in it. Enough said.
Wonderful. Now let's discuss our top 1, Aries. I would definitely have to agree because we both had Call of Duty Modern Warfare on the list. I know I just recently discussed it in my top 5, but what did you like most about the game?
It had great customization, not in terms of customizing your character as an appearance, but in guns. You had great machine guns, great submachine guns like classic M4s, MP5s, great shotguns, great snipers. It was a really great game in that sense. It also brought a bunch of the cool game modes that I'm more used to seeing now in most modern games, like, for example, Domination.
Search and Destroy, Team Deathmatch became huge in that game. They were all things that I felt brought a huge thing to the first-person shooter community and really changed the way that we look at games today. I mean, they're continuing to do it even in Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty Infinite. These are all game modes that people play in competitive gameplay.
Now, if there's one thing I can knock in Call of Duty Modern Warfare is the kill streaks. Personally, I'm not a fan of kill streaks, and I don't think they should be in any game. I think the game would have been a lot better without it. But, again, it's still a great game as a whole.
And I would agree. I think the only thing that they did in the recent Call of Duties to potentially fix that was allow you to customize your kill streaks instead of having the same set ones, where you could have multiple helicopters and stuff like that in the sky all at the same time. And with all of that being said, this was our top 5v5 Friday on first-person shooters. Stay tuned next week for our sandbox games. If there's any games that you feel we should have added, should have removed from the list, please let us know in the comments below.
Alright, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. And don't forget to check us out on both our Facebook, Twitter, and our website, nohints.com. Again, this is us at nohints.com. Aries.
And Nosres.
Signing out.